Hello there, Guildies. This is the Adventurers Guild. I'm Steve.
Still Jesse.
And you have tuned in to a lovely episode of Game Night.
Ooh.
You want to know how lovely it is?
How lovely is it?
Feels like just yesterday, aka last week-ish.
Okay.
Not sure what day this is. But I said this. And I don't want to hear any of this crap about Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Okay? The system in general, from a sheer technical standpoint, is superior. The Super Nintendo had better graphics. The Super Nintendo had a comically superior audio device. Well, you know what that means? The Super Nintendo and the Genesis released many games from similar IPs, but yet some were vastly different and some were very similar. Let's compare one of them on Game Night. Which one should we do, bud?
I'd say The Adventures of Batman and
Robin!
That's right.
Is that a pretty good impression?
No.
Yeah, probably not. Alright.
Maybe I'm a better Batman.
Not bad. Bad.
Someone like you. Someone around of the cages.
Alright, let's play some Batman and Robin for both the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. You know what time it is.
Cue the music.
Alright, here we are. First up, The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Sega Genesis.
Sega do with Nintendo.
Don't do that. Don't do this to me.
Okay. Look at them graphics, man.
They're just lovely.
Woo! Oh, look at that hand. Look at the hand.
Oh. Alright, let's bang this out, shall we here?
No.
Start. How do you come in? Are you in?
I don't know. Maybe I can join in later.
We're gonna find out. Because if not, we're shooting this over again.
Mm-hmm.
Level 1. Happy birthday to me. There's
There we go.
Robin.
There we go.
Listen to that synthesizer music. Oh, I have a super? Oh, how does that work? I can throw multiple batarangs at once. How did I do that? Do I have,
I'll take
do I
care
have
of-
infinite?
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I played this.
I like the animation style in this.
Yeah, it looks just like the original animated series. The one from the 90s. The acclaimed one. They got away with so much in that series, and at the same time they were censored for so much. I remember reading a book about the series where, like, the producers argued because Catwoman made a joke about Penguin dropping the soap in jail, and they would not let him in, but they were begging them.
So that didn't make it into the show then?
It did not make it in the show.
Wow.
But there was other edgy jokes that did make it in that I don't know if they just slipped through or what happened. That's a good series, man.
Yeah, I remember as a kid coming home from school every day, being excited to see the next episode. I was never huge into Batman before that cartoon series either, so that
I think
definitely...
it introduced a lot of kids to Batman.
Certainly me. Well, I guess I had known a lot about Batman beforehand from the Michael Keaton movies,
Oh, yeah.
but that would have been the extent. I never read any of the comics or anything like that, so...
I was always a huge fan of Batman. I actually got into the comics because of the 1966 Adam West show. Not that I would watch that for long, but I would watch the reruns. And I was always really into Robin's character, which then got me into the comics. And then I
Right.
fell in love with Batman. Is that a cat that just jumped out?
Alright, so let's discuss the what we're seeing here as far as graphics and animation style.
So it's very reminiscent of what the Genesis would do, which was they would digitize actual sprites from the show, so it literally looks like you're playing
Right.
digitized versions of the show. And then Genesis with their still backgrounds, they love this. Their look, they would always do.
So, the characters do look very, very similar to the cell animation style from the show. Are you 100% certain that this is a digitized version of that version from the show?
I'm not 100%.
Because it does look like the pixelation, like in the face, is a little different.
Yeah.
And like, it's so hard to tell because you're dealing with
I do know
a TV show to a game.
I know that's what they did for Aladdin, if I'm not mistaken.
Aladdin for sure. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the same for this. You can kind of tell more open your characters.
I mean, it looks startlingly similar to the version from the cartoon.
I do know when we switch over to the Super Nintendo version, that one, literally, like Nintendo did, it was actually drawn.
I just headbutted that guy.
Well, why would you, man? The cow has a metal piece in it for a headbutton. Why would I know that? Because I'm a Batman nerd. As I wear my Superman shirt.
So let's pay careful attention to the music here as well and the sound effects.
Whoa!
So, the music sounds very, for lack of a better term, Genesis-like. I'll be very interested to hear how the Super Nintendo's audio sounds. To see if it's more like orchestrated or whatever, you know, because they have that 8-channel audio system in it.
Wheels out.
Oh, I'm throwing down.
Get over! Oh.
Ah!
Whoa!
Like, I wish you could duck. Oh, you can duck and shoot forwards. You just have to push forwards.
There we go. Now we got something.
Oh, do you have to kill each individual section of it? What am I throwing here? This doesn't look like a batarang. What am I throwing?
It looked like the little balls he would throw to like get somebody's feet. Like tied up.
Oh, okay.
What was your favorite episode of the animated series?
I always loved Harley Quinn as a character in that show. So
the one they did
any of
with
the
her
ones
background?
where she was featured as like prominently in it, I was always a big fan of.
She was created for just that series.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Not as a kid. I thought she was a well-established character when I first saw that show, but I found out later on that she was created for the show, which is very interesting, considering how popular she is now.
They didn't want the Joker to be talking to himself, so
Right.
they figured get my girlfriend.
I'm dead, by the way.
I know. Let's see if I can beat her up and beat her down.
You are very low on life, sir.
But I'm high on friendship. Woo!
The anxiety level here is
Oh,
at
they got me.
all-time high. We died! But that's okay, because that will be a good segue to watching us beat it in Super Nintendo. So let us now see what Super Nintendo do that Genesis don't.
Oh, I see what you did there.
This is a little play on words. And here is the adventures of Batman and Robin for the Super Nintendo. And I can tell just by that beautifully orchestrated introduction that this game has a superior audio to the Genesis version. Of course, now the screen is black and we haven't heard any music, so that's unfortunate. But here we are.
Look at it come up.
So lovely. Anyway, we just discovered, starting this up, that we forgot that this version of the game is only one player. So unfortunately, that's a definite plus to the Genesis version.
Come up.
But Jesse is gonna rock this game single player because Batman is his thing. So have at it, bud.
DC in general. All right. I wonder who I'm gonna play as.
Robin. Dick Grayson. I lied. Batman, Bruce Wayne. Master Bruce, we've picked up a suspicious-sounding broadcast. Do I sound like Alfred?
No.
Not at all.
Sound like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. Can't take my freedom, Batman.
All right, so
6-button controller.
whoa, that is an awkward moving.
Batman.
Man.
Yeah. So
Well, actually, the animation is seems like there's a significant amount of frames to his animation movement, and okay, so graphically,
they're so drastically different.
they're very different, but there's definitely a lot more to the animation in this version.
And then once again, like I mentioned in our last video, the Super Nintendo.
My goodness. Look at it. Look, when he looks up, even his chest puffs out. Like this is you could tell that they worked very hard to get a cartoon style animation out of this.
The backgrounds are so much more interactive. They've always been
Yeah,
on the Super
and it's got that
Nintendo.
parallax scrolling too, because look, the background moves at a slower clip than the foreground does.
Getting shot up here.
There's definitely a significant improvement in animation quality on the.
Definitely less
both-
enemies though.
on Batman, and that could also be a hardware limitation, maybe, with the improved animation quality, or maybe not, but it could very well be.
Ooh, amusement park. Hey, Hardly.
How there, Batman?
Now she's
Welcome to
she's
the
a Southern
Joker's
belle all of a sudden.
Boathouse. All right, so the first stage is similar but different.
Oh, they're ready.
Okay, maybe significantly different. I think you have to punch him, not just kind of awkwardly freak out.
I'm trying to remember the jump button. There we go.
Interesting Joker
Statue
that shoots at you, apparently. So this has the same type of
Oh, sheesh.
how do I want to phrase this? Similar to what Aladdin did, where they're the same IP, but given to two different developers, and they had similar but different visions.
Yeah.
Like the same. Oh,
Like-
you're about to die.
Woo!
Oh, you survived through that.
Yes, thank you. What the heck? I didn't see that coming.
Isn't it so strange that tie-in IP like that back in the day?
They would do that.
Why what it possibly was the logic behind that? And it was so prevalent in so many games, especially in the 16-bit and 8-bit era. Why would two different developers make the same game a different version of the same game for
I'm
multiple
wondering if it
systems?
was
Like,
cost.
I mean, imagine that today. Like, imagine
Xbox,
the new Call of Duty coming
yeah.
out, and there's not total parity between the Xbox version and the PlayStation version. You know, like
Last time they did
the Xbox version's cartoony and the PlayStation version's realistic. Like, it seems like unheard of.
Last time they did that I was about to say nonsense. It wasn't really nonsense. I really can't figure out how to
Use a batarang. There you go. Or the bat grappling hook. There you go. Last time they did that, what now?
Last time they did that was the Wii. Remember, because the Wii had such limitations,
Right.
that they would give it to other developers while they were working on their main.
See,
Like,
now that makes sense to an
Spider-Man. If
extent.
you remember, Spider-Man 3 on the Wii was completely different than Spider-Man on the Xbox and PlayStation 3. Whew.
I mean, I guess if there's a severe hardware limitation, that makes sense. But I
But
mean,
for
with
this-
the Genesis and the the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, I mean,
What is going? What is?
wow, okay, this stage is definitely very different than the Genesis version.
Yeah, I would say so. Just have no luck with bosses.
Did you just game over? No, you did not.
Oh, I'm about to. I'm thinking I got to do something with the grappling hook because I wasn't even touching him. Nope. Maybe a jump.
He's doing a good job stabbing you. Can you hook? You can't latch onto his. Can you latch onto his nose or something from underneath of him? Straight up. Nope.
Yeah, waiting for the comments. You can't even play the video game right. It's like
You don't
no.
remember how to beat that giant wooden statue from this
From
obscure
20
Super
20
Nintendo
years,
game?
over 20 years ago. It was over 30 years
I thought
ago.
you guys
now.
were gamers, man.
Maybe
Can you bomb him?
I was just gonna try to remember.
That does nothing.
Nothing. Can't even get past him. Where's the instruction manual? Alright, I'm about to call it on this boss, man.
All right. Well, this has been
A very...
the Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. As you can see, there is a lot of disparity between the two versions. So,
Oh, thank
if
goodness.
you lived through this era back in the day, you either picked which version seemed superior, or you got what you got as a gift on Christmas, or you only owned one system and you got what you got.
I had the Sega version growing up, but I did play the Super Nintendo once because we rented it. And I think I preferred the Sega one as a kid. But that's also because The Sega was always in my room, and the Super Nintendo was in the living room.
Fair enough. What do you say we kick it to the outro, friend?
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm Robin!
All right.
I'm still not very good at that.
Yeah, but only on the Sega version. Because that's right. Super Nintendo was
One player.
Yes,
Batman works alone.
it does. Unless
even though the game was called Batman and Robin.
That's actually a great point. What the heck?
Batman and Robin. Batman by himself. Interesting comparison. It was so the Sega had co-op, but the Super Nintendo definitely had, I don't know how to say it, more pixels, more animation.
They definitely had a better animation style. Like there was more frames to each animation. Like even like the crappy, just like the goons, like the guy that was shooting the guns. Like they had a full blown animation of pulling out a weapon and stuff.
And then there was much more platforming. Like the Sega was just a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Versus that one where I'm climbing up walls and flipping over. And the first boss versus the first boss, and we couldn't beat either of them. But
that's true.
at least we put some damage.
But at least one made sense. It was Harley Quinn. The other was a giant wooden figure.
Yep.
Weird. Very weird.
Find out at the end of that game if you ever beat it. It's just the Mad Hatter.
But the point of the video was to discuss like also not just gameplay but also like graphics
quality?
and sound and stuff.
Sound, I got to give it up to the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, my vote also goes superior for sound. What about graphics? What do you think was better?
They're both so different. I'm gonna go with the Super Nintendo only because I like the background.
I'm gonna go the Super Nintendo version being superior for graphics because of how much more animation cells each character had.
Yep.
Even looking up, Batman's chest puffed out. I mean,
Yep.
seriously? What game does
And then
that?
he had the gadgets, the wall jumping, everything that was in there.
So, Super Nintendo, you win this one. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, even in the wall jumping, all you could do in the Sega one was grab the little ledge.
Well,
all right.
I think that'll just about do it for this episode of Game Night.
Still Batman.
Still Robin! I gotta just stop. It's so dumb.
It's not at all the way Robin's.
For the Adventurers Guild, this has been Game Night. I'm Steve.
Still Jesse.
We'll catch you next time.